course, before you start programming your robot, you need to build a robot. Since this course is designed primarily for teachers, I'm going to be demonstrating things using a robot that was built according to the directions in the booklet that came with the educational version of the kit. If you've lost your booklet or have the commercial version of the kit, don't worry. Our resources page, and at some point we'll explain how to find that, has links to LEGO's website where you can download the instructions for both the educational and commercial kits. We also have links to other websites that offer free designs for building NXT robots. If you've never followed the building directions in a LEGO kit, there's a few things you should know. LEGO directions are almost entirely graphical. Presumably they leave out the words so that the book can be understood regardless of the language spoken by the user. A project generally starts out with a picture of the final item to be built. Then, for each step, you'll see a list of the number and types of the parts that you need. This 4x means that we need 4 of these little black connectors. And this 3 in a circle indicates that the part is 3 Lego bumps long. Measuring Lego bumps can be a pain, so the directions often include actual size diagrams of some of the parts. If a part's shown on the page with the 1-to-1 notation, that means you can lay the actual part on top of the picture and measure it. It's a really good idea to hunt for all the parts that are listed before you begin each step. I find it useful to have a plastic bowl around when I'm building, and I just put all the parts for the upcoming step together in a bowl. Then I'm less likely to lose them. Finally, once you've got all the correct parts for this step, you can follow the step-by-step building instructions, which will show you how to construct each piece. One other useful item to know about is this switcheroo icon, which just means flip over the piece you're currently working on. By the way, LEGO takes great care in making these parts lists. If you're asked to find 2 things that look like this picture, LEGO means exactly like this, and something that looks like the second picture won't work. LEGO directions are very specific about the color, shape, and size of the parts that they ask you to use. So, what if you can't find a part in your kit? In my experience, if you have a brand new kit, there's a better than 99% chance that the part is actually in there and you just can't find it. Look again and again, and then get one of your students to look for you. It's probably there. If you're genuinely missing a part, you can contact LEGO for a replacement. I do have one important warning, however. Some NXT educational kits included a few parts that looked slightly different in color or shape from the description in the book. So how do you know if you got one of these kits? Well, if your kit has some substitutions, then you'll find an equivalency chart on page 2 of your book. How do you interpret this chart? Well, this line I've highlighted means whenever we tell you to use a black piece like this, you really should use a blue piece that looks like this instead. It's not wonderful, but you'll get used to it. Phew. Okay, we're almost ready to get started building. What's left to do? Well, before we build the robot, we've got to install and charge your battery pack and sort your Lego into the trays. The first thing you want to do if you have the educational version of this kit is to install the rechargeable battery pack into your NXT brick. Just remove the back cover from the NXT brick and replace it with the battery pack. The battery pack actually serves as both batteries and cover. The booklet that comes with the educational version also shows you how to do this installation. Before using the NXT for the first time, you'll have to charge up the battery pack. You should leave the pack connected to the NXT brick and just plug the power cable directly into the brick. If you haven't sorted your Lego parts into the trays yet, you might as well plug in the NXT brick for a bit while you do so. Otherwise, you can wait till your robot is built and then charge it up. It takes roughly 4 hours to fully charge a flat battery. Some rechargeable batteries require you to fully drain the battery before recharging them and then fully recharge them before using them again, but LEGO uses lithium batteries, so you don't have to worry about any of that. It's also fine to partially charge the battery. You won't hurt the battery if you leave it plugged in for more than 4 hours. I'll sometimes leave mine to charge overnight, but I personally wouldn't recommend leaving them plugged in for days and days. If you have the commercial kit, then just insert 6 AA batteries into the compartment on the back. Okay, so it's time for you to get started. If you have the educational set, you should first sort all the parts into your trays and then get started building the basic robot base found in your book. This robot includes motors, but no sensors for the moment. The directions start on page 8 of my version of the book and continue through page 22. Here's what those pages look like in my book. If you have the commercial set, then I recommend you build the Tribot that you can find a link to on the resources page.